Good shit. This is such. And you can draw your own conclusions. And I'll ask a question that I think is relevant. And Governor DeSantis has a brand new book out. And it's a very, very good book, by the way. I literally read 90% of it the night before the interview. It's The Courage to Be Free, Florida's Blueprint for America's Revival. And it's not a snarky book. It's not a gossipy book. It's not an attacking book. He doesn't attack any of the other Republicans or anything like that. He talks about his life. He talks about what he's done. He talks about what he considers leadership and how he applies that in the state of Florida. He talks about his priorities, his conservatism. He's very, very knowledgeable about the Constitution. There's a chapter in the book, I think it's chapter 14, where he talks about post-constitutional America. It's a phrase I've used, and he really spells it out very, very well. And I think his approach to leadership is something that governors, mayors, executives across America ought to pay attention to. He said, stay on offense. Now, I'm just summarizing. Stay on offense, because if you're not on offense, you're on defense. Make the media chase you and your issues rather than playing, defense with the media. And he said, I got 50% of the vote, but I had 100% of the executive power. Use it. He figured out what his constitutional authorities were, where his administrative authorities were. And he said in every case, he wants to follow the law. He applies it, he uses it, and he advances the cause of liberty. And his explanation was much more coherent than I've heard from other governors, I can tell you that, quite frankly. And the book is also filled with suggestions on things that can be done to rein in the administrative state, and that representatives in government have done a very poor job of representing the people. They create these bureaucracies and they control all this power on them, so you have no say in anything. And he acknowledges that. And that's one of the things he wants to deal with. And his tussles with the media, he said, we can't worry about what the media are going to say. In these culture wars, he didn't invite the culture wars. He explains that too. You got Chris Sununu and even Mike Pence, I was surprised, and others, Larry Hogan. Most of these, like Sununu and Hogan, these are big players, but nonetheless, they're out there trying to redefine conservatism in a way that gives them cover for their, quite frankly, liberal Republicans. And so Sununu's talking about meeting the left halfway and bipartisanship. Hogan was really a plaything of the Democrat legislature. DeSantis changed the entire state from a marginally Democrat state to a strong red state in 5 years, really, 4 years. And created the economic conditions for that, created the living conditions for that, law and order, keeping the schools open, that sort of thing. And it's very, very refreshing for people. So I wanted him to have an opportunity to explain these things, because where else is he going to get it? I'm quite honest about it. Unless it's a paid commercial, and it's not going to be a long time. As I say, I'm not Andrea Mitchell, thank God, in many respects. or Jim Acosta. I'm not interested in yelling and fighting with the guests, unless, of course, it's a Bernie Sanders or something like that. He would be yelling, and then I'd respond in time. But I'd rather have a one-on-one intelligent discussion with a guy like that, but they won't even come on. But I thought I would expose you to DeSantis. I didn't discuss President Trump, and I didn't discuss polls, and I didn't ask him if he's running, because these are dumb questions. You going to run? No, I can't tell you right now. That's the answer to that. I already answered. Donald Trump, he's not going to attack Trump. He's just not going to get into that stuff. In polling, he doesn't do polls. So, I think he came across very well, very intelligent, very classy, and his book now is flying off the shelf. If you want to get a copy, it's called The Courage to Be Free, Florida's Blueprint for America's Revival. When a book comes out of the gate so hot as this one, it's #1 on Amazon now. Amazon slashes it in terms of the price. So they're already at a 33% discount. The book comes out Tuesday. That's tomorrow. So at midnight tonight or tomorrow morning, depending on where the second hand is, they start shipping it. Now, if the discount, whether it's his book or anybody else's book, goes even deeper, you'll get the benefit of the deeper discount on day one. So if they say, okay, on day one it's 40% off, the way Amazon works is you get that. How do I know that? Because I've written enough books. Donald Trump is working on a project that I'm not free to talk about because I haven't been given permission, but I will be interviewing him, I believe, in April. Assuming they still agree to it, but they do as far as I know. So we'll be doing that too. But I just wanted you to have a chance to hear Governor DeSantis in his own words for a long-form interview, and I thought he was great. I'll be right back.
Mark Levin.
I want to tell you about something to help you protect your retirement. People are worried about the economy because 2022 didn't go very well. For one thing, there's the crazy spending and debt created by Biden and the Democrats. That huge debt affects your savings, especially pensions, IRAs, and 401ks. It's one reason Americans get gold IRAs, to protect their hard-earned savings. Well, here's a company I trust to help you with a gold IRA, Augusta Precious Metals. What makes Augusta Precious Metals different? They'll tell you not to buy a gold IRA if it's not right for you. If you've saved $100,000 or more, saved for your IRA or your 401k, sign up for a one-on-one web conference. To schedule, call 877-4-GOLD-IRA. That's 877-4-GOLD-IRA, 877-4-GOLD-IRA. If you have a financial professional, obviously talk to them before making an investment decision. Visit AugustaPreciousMetals.com and check out the risk disclosures as well. I very much want to defeat Rachel Madcow. She's a sanctimonious wrestling buffoon. May I say that? I think I will. Who trashes the system as she gets rich from the system. Have you noticed all this? How all these people get rich off the system that they claim to detest? Yes, typical Marxist hypocrites. I'll be right back. This segment of the podcast is exclusively sponsored by Pure Talk. Pure Talk offers great coverage and can save your family money on your wireless bill every single month. Go to puretalk.com to find the plan that's right for you. Thank you again for listening, and thank you so much for this sponsorship, Pure Talk.
He's here. Now broadcasting from the underground command post, deep in the bowels of a hidden bunker, somewhere under the brick and steel of a nondescript building, we've once again made contact with our leader, Mark Levin.
Hello, America. Mark Levin here. Our number, 877-381-3811, 877-381-3811. You know, it's so typical. It's so typical. You know, when I started in this business, there was integrity. There was integrity among hosts in radio and TV. A lot of that's gone now. A lot of that's gone. Now, what do I mean? I hear people say, I was the first to do this, I was the first to do that. You want to play a little game, folks? Ask them when they did it, and ask them to play the audio or the video. Or they'll take two sides of the same position, or they'll walk a fine line. And when the issue falls sort of on one side of the line or the other, then they quote themselves. Like I said, it's hilarious if it wasn't so stupid. We have over 4 years of my radio broadcasts for you to listen to. We just launched an entire, is it a video channel? Is that what they call it, Mr. Producer? A YouTube video channel. Just launched it to further spread the word. And you just go to YouTube and you put my name in, I guess. Mark Levin's show search. So we're taking every platform we can. We're expanding the breadth and depth of the program. And we have other things in the future, the next 6, 8, 10, 12 months, I suppose. But all that said, I brought this gentleman, Nicholas Wade, on my TV show on May 23rd, 2021. Because nobody was providing any scientific argument whatsoever for the Wuhan lab being the place where the virus was being developed and spread. Tom Cotton felt it was. President Trump thought it was. But nobody was really not in the broadcast business looking for scientific arguments. And then I read Mr. Wade's piece, which was so compelling. But it took a while to wade through it, man. It wasn't simple reading. It wasn't a short piece. It wasn't 1,000 words, a column. It was a real, serious piece of scholarship. Remember all this, Mr. Producer? I went through it, I highlighted, went through it, highlighted it. We discussed it on radio. I gave it to my producers at Life, Liberty, and Levin. We did it at Levin TV. I spoke to the gentleman, and he had the guts to come on and say it because, as you can imagine, he wasn't popular for what he was saying. And after that interview on Fox, it took off. I don't have to be the first to do things. I often tell you, unless I'm comfortable that I have the information I need, I don't want to be the first. But in this case, it just happened to be the case. Not because I was seeking to be the first or pat myself on the head. It's because I approach things differently than most other people. I use my brain. And I've been doing this a long time, and I'm not talking about radio. Using my noggin. I'll give you another example, real fast footnote. Remember the big debates over whether Kevin McCarthy should be Speaker of the House? It turned out to be pretty damn good, hasn't it? Remember these people writing these nasty little pissant pieces? People who've never accomplished a damn thing in their life? Or sit on the sidelines and bark all the time? And they said, this is going to affect your base, and this is going to affect your ratings. You know what's interesting? We just looked at the ratings. How are the ratings, Mr. Producer? Through the roof. Because people don't want BS. They want to know, if they respect you, what you think. And after 20 years, people want to know, who listen to the program, what I'm thinking and why. Doesn't mean you agree. doesn't mean you